Hello everyone and welcome to Box Office Receipts. I'm your host Tyler Callahan, and the summer movie season has kicked off with a very meh opening. So yeah, we got the box office numbers, we got casting updates, films up for sale at Cannes, Warner Brothers is back to making Lord of the Rings, new streaming bundles, and more. So we got the first weekend of May, which I know for a lot of people technically isn't the start of summer yet, but hey, for Hollywood, it is. For theaters, it is. First weekend of May to the end of to Labor Day weekend is the summer box office. And now normally, typically, we would have a Marvel film to kick us off, right? We'd have something from Marvel Studios. That's not the case this year due to the strikes. So instead, we got The Fall Guy from Universal, which opened to $27.7 million. In second place was the re-release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, with $8.7 million. Third place was Challengers with $7.5 million for a total of $29.4 million. Fourth place was Tarot, which debuted to $6.5 million. And in fifth place was Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, with $4.5 million for a total of $188.1 million. Definitely not a good start to the summer season, and the theaters are absolutely missing that superhero cash right now. Fall Guy on paper did everything right, great cast, positive reviews, proper marketing, and it still underperformed what analysts were expecting. So what happened? I think one issue was that it was focused on stunt people in Hollywood. Personally, I like that aspect of it, but for the regular movie watcher, they might not care at all. Also, in regards to the marketing, for me personally, the trailers sucked. Now, I said I had proper marketing in that Universal put money behind it. I think personally the trailers could have been edited better. They were too long, going on 3 minutes. They weren't edited great. But again, that's my personal opinion. And again, going back to proper marketing, like, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, they did the full PR tour around the world. They did the interviews, they did the stunts. Like, it's not like Universal hid this movie. Speaking of Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, it seems like there is a bit of a limit to their star power. But something to point out as Deadline reports. Barbie, at least for Ryan Gosling, Barbie's the outlier of his career, and The Fall Guy, at least domestically, is his third highest opening weekend. Biggest issue here, though, is the reported budget of $130 to $150 million. It's a bit high for this kind of movie. Like, if the budget was $100 million, this would be a solid to great opening, but it's not. And with Apes coming out next weekend, there is a chance it could collapse fast at the box office. Also, a small update on Godzilla X Kong. Yeah, it looks like it will not reach 200 million domestically at the box office. It got close, but I don't see it happening. We had May Day in China. Thanks to that, we got a few new releases, with a lot of them having opened on Wednesday. As for the weekend top 5, The Last Frenzy, a comedy, came in first place with 30.1 million for a total of 54.2 million. Second place was an action thriller film called Formed Police Unit with 24.1 million for a total of 56.1 million. Third place was Twilight of the Warriors Walled In with 21 million for a total of 46.3 million. Fourth place was Spy X Family Code White with 12.9 million for a total now of 32 million. And the fifth place was Howl's Moving Castle with 6.6 million for a total now of 16.7 million. So overall, a pretty good weekend for the box office in China. Internationally, The Fall Guy earned another 25.4 million for a worldwide total of 64.6 million. From Sony, the Garfield movie got a head start, opening in 18 markets for an international opening of 22 million. Challengers earned 7.5 million for a worldwide total of 52.2 million. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire earned 9.8 million for a worldwide total of 546.9 million. And Kung Fu Panda 4 earned 7.7 million for a total of $520 million. For news in Hollywood, let's start with some casting updates, with Deadline breaking the news on most of these. Manuel Garcia Ruffalo is in talks to join the next Jurassic World film, which already stars Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. You would know him for the Lincoln Lawyer series on Netflix. For the Fantastic Four, John Malkovich has joined in an unknown role, and The Hollywood Reporter broke the news that Ralph Ineson will play Galactus, the big bad of the film. Overall, the film has a pretty great cast so far. And Charlie Cox has signed on to co-star in a rom-com film over at Amazon MGM Studios. And I think this is one we talked about a few episodes ago, called Merv. It'll be directed by Jessica Swale and also stars Zoe Deschanel and is already in production. Glenn Powell is in early talks to star in a new film from J.J. Abrams. In Snyder broke the news, and while not much is known about the film itself, Abrams will direct it from a script he wrote. Feels like forever since he directed the film. Deadline also reported that Jack O'Connell has signed on to star in 28 Years Later, and Sony has also set it to come out on June 20th next year. So it will be getting a prime summer spot, and I think it's going to do really well at the box office. In other release date news, Universal has set a release date for Him from Monkey Paw Productions. The film, starring Marlon Wayans and directed by Justin Tipping, will come out September 19th next year. Now, there are a lot of films up for sale at the Cannes Film Festival, but ahead of it, Francis Ford Coppola's upcoming film, Megalopolis, will be able to sell some of its distribution rights with deals done for the UK, Italy, France, and Germany. It will debut at the festival on May 16th. As for the film packages at Cannes, basically all of them were reported on first by Deadline. They're pretty much on top of this. First, we got Mutiny, an action thriller film starring Jason Statham, and will be directed by Jean-Francois Richet. He recently directed Plane that came out last year. Lionsgate has already gone ahead and bought the North American rights to the film, but distribution rights in other markets remain up for sale. Bella Ramsey will star as Samantha Lethwaite, aka the White Widow, in Girl Next Door. The film is about the wife of one of the terrorists from the 7/7 bombing in London years ago and how she became radicalized. Both Mahershala Ali and Tom Hardy will star in a crime thriller movie called 77 Blackout. It takes place in New York City, where crime breaks out after the city loses power, and will be directed by Kari-Joy Fukunaga. Sebastian Stan and Lily James are set to team up again and star in a new horror film called Let the Evil Go West, which will be directed by Christian Taftrup. Ben Stiller and Colin Farrell will star in a true crime film called Belly of the Beast, which will be directed by Andrew Hay. Deadline also reports that Dwayne Johnson will also be at Cannes to meet potential buyers for the international rights to The Smashing Machine. Sadly, there were a few deaths this week. Roger Corman died at the age of 98. He was an indie filmmaker who directed over 70 films, including The Little Shop of Horrors. Ian Gelder died at the age of 74 due to complications from bile duct cancer. He was an actor most known for his role in Game of Thrones as Qyburn Lannister, but also appeared in other shows as well, including his Dark Materials and Doctor Who. Susan Backline died at the age of 77. She was an actress and was most known for being the first victim of the shark in Jaws. Suzanne Buckner died at the age of 72. She was an actress who appeared in TV shows and films and was most known for her role in Grease. Mark Damon died at the age of 91. He was a spaghetti western actor, producer, and a sales executive. He kind of did a bit of everything. Janine Epper died at the age of 83. She was a stunt woman who did work on numerous films and shows, including The Amazing Spider-Man, Kill Bill Volume 2, and Catch Me If You Can, among others. She is most known as the stunt double for Linda Carter for the original Wonder Woman TV series. Al Honoranto has died at the age of 88. He was a casting director for shows including Police Story and Bewitched, and was also a co-founder for the Casting Society of America. And Sam Rubin died at the age of 64 due to a heart attack. He was a longtime entertainment reporter for KTLA in Los Angeles. Thoughts and prayers go out to their families during this time. May they rest in peace. And as always, fuck cancer. There are some new films in development. The Hollywood Reporter broke the news that Legendary have hired Dave Callaham to write the screenplay for the next film in the MonsterVerse franchise. Considering how well the new Empire has done, this really isn't a surprise. Deadline broke the news that Skydance and Mattel have signed on Sam Hargrave to direct a live-action movie based on Matchbox. And Warner Brothers is going back to The Lord of the Rings with the announcement that 2 new films are in development, with one set to come out in 2026. The first one will be called Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, with Andy Serkis set to direct and star, obviously, as Gollum. Peter Jackson will come back to produce. No info yet on a second film. Personally, I don't mind more live-action Lord of the Rings films. My concern is 2026. Now, we can assume if it comes out, it would be December 2026, right? All the Lord of the Rings films come out in December. But the issues with the Hobbit trilogy was, besides being stretched out from 2 to 3 films, was that production was rushed on top of it. For these films to be great, they need time in the oven. So at least for now, I'm slightly looking forward to it, but I'm also kind of cautious. For VOD Premium, let's start off with Peacock, where they have renewed Ted for a second season. Considering how much of a success that show has been for them, this isn't a surprise. Law & Order Organized Crime is now moving over to being a Peacock exclusive for its upcoming 5th season. Up until now, it has been an NBC show that has also been available on Peacock. And Peacock has picked up the Office spin-off series with the focus being on a dying newspaper in the Midwest. Production is set to begin in July. That's actually a solid premise for the show. Taking a look at AMC, they had their quarterly earnings and it was not great. For subscribers, there was a small uptick from 11.4 to 11.5 million subs. That's not great, considering this was the quarter where they had the big Walking Dead spinoff featuring Rick and Michonne. And revenue was down a bit due to ad sales being down 13%. And look, for ad sales, they're just getting hit like the rest of the cable channels. AMC is also planning to move up the release of the 4th and final season of Snowpiercer to this summer. It'll now premiere on July 21st. The first 3 seasons of the show will be available to watch on AMC Plus starting in June. Apple TV Plus has canceled Constellation after 1 season. The sci-fi show starred Naomi Rapace. As for what is new to watch on the streamer, Dark Matter, starring Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly, has premiered and gotten good reviews, with it at a 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. At Paramount Plus, they have renewed Lioness for a 2nd season. The series, led by Zoe Saldana, premiered last summer, and in an exclusive from Variety, they are reporting that Michael Pena has joined Taylor Sheridan's upcoming show, Landman. One thing we got this week are a lot of quarterly earning reports. First up, we got ITV. While they did not give exact numbers on ITVX, their streaming service, they did mention that streaming hours overall are up 16%, and monthly active viewers did grow. Let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery's earnings, and it was very meh. They did gain 2 million subscribers and are now at 99.6 million worldwide. Still struggling to get past 100 million. Now, the company reports overall that their direct-to-consumer part of the company made a profit of 86 million for the quarter, which includes Max. So it sounds great. It sounds nice. One problem is that the reporters have actually looked at the financials, and the direct-to-consumer does include HBO via cable. So while the company can say, oh, our direct-to-consumer business is now profitable, they cannot straight up say Max is profitable. Not yet, anyway. And I kind of have a feeling HBO via cable packages is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the profitability. The company announced more details on the launch of Max in France. It will debut on June 11th and will be available as a standalone service, as a channel on Prime Video, and on Canal Plus. For subscribing via Prime Video or standalone, you will have to pay, with a sports package being an additional add-on, and unlike the United States, it will not be temporarily free. If you have Canal Plus, you have to pay for it unless you have a specific package. It is included if you have the Cine Series, the Integral, or the Friends and Family packages. If you have either one of those, you're good. There's also a casting update on Peacemaker Season 2 with Frank Grillo set to star in it as Rick Flag Sr. He'll be voicing the character in Creature Commandos, coming to Max at the end of the year. Now let's talk about Disney. The new current total of Disney Plus core subscribers, which does not include Disney Plus Hotstar, went up 6.3 million for a total of 117.6 million. And Hulu is now at 50.2 million subscribers. As for profitability, the company is almost there. Disney Plus and Hulu together made a profit, but when combined with ESPN Plus, their streaming business overall lost $18 million. Still, that's not bad, since this time last year, the streaming business cost them $659 million. So still a big improvement. And this week saw the announcement of a new streaming bundle. Streaming bundles are so hot right now. This one is between Disney and Warner Brothers Discovery, as they will be releasing a bundle over the summer that includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. Not much is known about pricing, but for now the bundle will be in the US only and will be a soft bundle, as in while you can sign up for it from either service, the apps and content will remain separate. So no, you will not be able to watch House of the Dragon on Disney Plus or watch The Bear on Max, for example. Depending on pricing, this could be the bundle that locks in a good amount of customers. Feel like though also at this point, all the bundles coming out are not meant to get new subscribers, but to lock them in. Basically reduce churn. Time will tell if they are effective. Speaking of The Bear, FX released a teaser for it as well, announcing that Season 3 comes out June 27th. Also at FX, they might be looking to renew Shōgun for a 2nd season. Now, this was originally meant to be a limited series, but Variety reports that FX is looking on trying to get everything together and do a renewal. Part of this is that they have already signed Hiroyuki Sanada to reprise his role if a 2nd season was to happen, This isn't shocking as it has been a big hit for FX and by extension Hulu, and in the lead up to the Emmy nominations, they have positioned the show as a drama series for the categories, not a limited series. In exclusive from Variety, they're reporting that Jio Cinema is launching an anime hub on the streaming service. Available for Jio Cinema premium customers starting May 12th, the library of anime titles will include Demon Slayer, Spy X Family, and Mob Psycho 100, among others. Over at Prime Video, Maggie Q will portray Renee Ballard in the upcoming Bosch spin-off series. And before she leads the show, she will make an appearance in the season 3 finale of Bosch Legacy when that airs. I'm assuming that season will air sometime in the fall. Amazon MGM Studios is moving forward on a sequel to Red, White, and Royal Blue with both Nicholas Galzantine and Taylor Zakhar Perez set to come back. The film was a big hit for Prime Video last year. And Michelle Yeoh has been cast for the lead role in the upcoming Blade Runner 2099 series. I like Blade Runner, and especially loves Blade Runner 2049, so I'm hoping this is good. We got the Nielsen Top 10 charts for the week of April 8th to the 14th. And yeah, turns out Fallout was massive. It debuted on the overall top 10 chart in first place with 2.9 billion minutes watched. Absolutely massive. Second place was Bluey with 1.39 billion minutes watched. And third place was Grey's Anatomy with 1 billion minutes watched. We also have the Netflix top 10 for the week of April 29th to May 5th. For English films, Unfrosted debuted in first place with 7.1 million views. Anyone But You came in second with 6.7 million views. And Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver came in third with 6 million views. For English TV shows, Baby Reindeer continues to dominate with another 18.6 million views. Coming in second place was A Man in Full, which debuted to 6.3 million views. And Dead Boy Detectives came in third place with 4.7 million views. Also noticeable is The Roast of Tom Brady, came in sixth place with 2 million views with only 1 day of tracking. So expect that to move up next week. Also for Netflix, Wednesday Season 2 has started filming in Ireland with both Steve Buscemi and Billy Piper having joined the cast. And that's it for this episode of Box Office Receipts. If you want to follow me on Threads, X, or Instagram, links to those are in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.